Daniel Craig, who famously portrayed James Bond from 2006 to 2021, recently answered one of the most debated and highly anticipated questions in film circles: who should take over the role of 007, following his final appearance as the iconic superspy in No Time to Die. Craig, known for his intense and emotionally complex take on the legendary MI6 agent, wrapped up his Bond career in grand fashion, marking the end of an era that spanned 15 years and 5 films. Since the release of No Time to Die, fans, critics, and entertainment industry insiders have all been eagerly speculating about who might succeed Craig in the role that has long been associated with suave sophistication, high-stakes action, and larger-than-life escapism. The casting of the next James Bond has become one of the most hotly debated topics on the internet, with a multitude of names floated and endless fan casting ideas dominating social media. James Bond. A character first introduced in Ian Fleming's 1953 novel Casino Royale, has been portrayed by several actors over the years, each bringing a unique interpretation to the role. From Sean Connery's smooth and charismatic portrayal in the early films to Roger Moore's cheeky, light-hearted version and Pierce Brosnan's more contemporary Bond, the role has been shaped by the actors who have taken it on. However, it wasn't until Daniel Craig's arrival in Casino Royale in 2006 that the character was truly redefined for a new generation. Craig's Bond was gritty, vulnerable, and deeply human in interpretation that deviated from the traditional suave, invincible spy seen in the past. His take on 007, which emphasized emotional depth and a more complex inner life, resonated with both longtime fans of the series and newcomers. Through films like Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Die, Craig helped to elevate the character to new heights, cementing himself as one of the most memorable and influential Bonds in the series' history. But as the final credits rolled on No Time to Die, a major question was left hanging in the air: who would take over the mantle of James Bond? The internet exploded with speculation as fans of the franchise discussed, analyzed, and voted on who should replace Craig. Some believed the next Bond should be someone who would continue Craig's more grounded and complex approach to the character, while others argued that the franchise should return to its more traditional roots, focusing on the larger-than-life, action-packed spy thriller that defined the earlier films in the series. In a recent interview with Variety, Daniel Craig himself was asked who he would like to see succeed him as the next James Bond. The question was straightforward, but his answer was far more casual than expected. Craig, known for his no-nonsense approach to interviews and media questions, responded bluntly. I don't care. The unexpected nature of his reply left many in the audience both amused and surprised. After playing the role for over a decade and a half, it appears that Craig has long since moved on from the public discussions surrounding the future of Bond. His response suggests that he is content with his own time in the role and has no strong preferences regarding who should take over next. Craig has always been a staunch professional, and his indifference toward the matter seems to reflect a sense of closure after completing his run as Bond. This comment, however, didn't mark the end of the conversation. When the interviewer asked how many Bond films he had starred in, Craig once again responded with a dose of humor. "Are you asking me that? Do I have to write the answer? I'm going to get it wrong," he quipped, offering a playful nod to the weight of the question. Craig's humor in the moment suggests that, while he has left his time as Bond behind him, he still enjoys engaging with the press in his own unique way. His playful deflection of the question further emphasizes his relaxed attitude about leaving the character behind and stepping away from the intense scrutiny that comes with being one of the most famous film characters in the world. Even though Craig seems largely uninterested in discussing who will take over the role of James Bond, the search for the next actor has captivated fans around the globe. The decision is monumental not only because of the immense popularity of the Bond franchise, but also because of the lasting impact the character has had on cinema. James Bond is a global icon, and stepping into the role is a daunting task for any actor. The next 007 will not only be tasked with continuing the legacy of the character, but also with taking the franchise in a new direction, one that balances the expectations of longtime fans while appealing to a new generation of viewers. This complex responsibility has made the casting decision one of the most closely watched events in Hollywood today. Producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, who have overseen the Bond franchise for decades, have indicated that they are taking their time with the decision, as they want to ensure the next actor is the right fit for the character. In interviews, Broccoli has said that they aren't rushing the casting process, and they want to find someone who can bring a fresh interpretation to Bond, while also respecting the character's rich history. While it's clear that there is no immediate rush to cast the next Bond, fans and industry insiders have been speculating furiously, with numerous names being suggested by various sources. Some believe that the next Bond should be a more traditional choice, someone with the suave charisma of previous actors like Sean Connery or Pierce Brosnan. Others believe that the role should be taken on by an actor who brings a new dimension to the character, one that reflects the changes in the world and the audience's expectations. Several names have already emerged as potential candidates for the role of James Bond, with some fans lobbying for established actors like Idris Elba, Tom Hardy, and Richard Madden. There has also been a growing call for a more diverse casting choice, with some fans hoping that the next Bond will be someone from a different background or ethnicity, as the world has changed significantly since the character was first introduced. These discussions about diversity in casting reflect broader conversations about representation in Hollywood and the need for the entertainment industry to evolve with the times. However, the producers have remained tight-lipped about their plans, with only cryptic comments and hints surfacing in the media. While the public debates and fan casting continue, Craig's indifferent attitude toward the next Bond speaks volumes about his own journey with the character. After years of embodying James Bond, it's clear that he's ready to let go and leave the future of 007 to someone else. For Craig, his legacy as Bond is secure, and he seems content to move on to new challenges, having reinvented the character for a new era. As the search for the next Bond continues, the speculation surrounding the casting will undoubtedly intensify. The question of who will take on the role is one that will captivate audiences until the producers make their official announcement. While Daniel Craig may not have strong opinions about who should succeed him, it's evident that the legacy of James Bond will continue to spark conversation, intrigue, and anticipation for years to come. As the franchise moves into a new era, the world waits with bated breath to see who will become the next 007, and whether they will be able to live up to the monumental task of following in Craig's footsteps.